If you've ever wondered why certain seasons seem to come bundled with their own emotional weather forecast, you're not alone. For many people, seasonal affective disorder and mood disturbance drift in like unwelcome seasonal decorations. But instead of blaming only shorter days and colder air, it turns out your immune system, your hormones, and even your nasal passages may be adding their own commentary. Let's start with a surprising collaboration: seasonal allergic rhinitis and your emotional brain. Sneezing, rhinorrhea, nausea, obstruction. These classic allergy symptoms aren't just annoying. They spark a cascade of immunological reactions involving mast cells, basophils, eosinophils, neutrophils, monocytes, and dendritic cells. These cells release histamine, eosinophilic cationic protein, major basic protein, and a surge of inflammatory cytokines like tumor necrosis factor alpha. This activity lights up the nasal mucosa like it's hosting a microscopic block party. But here's where things get interesting. Immune chemicals released during allergic inflammation don't just stay local, they signal through nerves, through high affinity receptors on immune cells, and sometimes across the blood-brain barrier. Cytokines, those notorious multitaskers, talk directly with brain regions like the amygdala, the prefrontal cortex, and the hippocampus, all areas deeply involved in emotional processing. The result, allergic mood, the subtle or not so subtle waves of anxiety, irritability, and low mood that often accompany symptomatic periods. And if allergies are active, chances are the stress system is leaning in too. Inflammatory cytokines like to mingle with the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, nudging your brain to release corticotropin, releasing hormone, which triggers adrenocorticotropin hormone, which then encourages cortisol and corticosterone to rise. Add in a more active sympathetic autonomous nervous system, and suddenly even mild allergies can make emotional stimuli feel much bigger than they are. Panic attacks and anxiety disorders can flare under these conditions, especially when sleep quality takes a hit during allergy season. Now layer on another biochemical twist, the endoleamine 2,3 dioxygenase pathway. When inflammation ramps up, cytokines activate this enzyme, which begins diverting tryptophan, the same amino acid your body uses to make serotonin, into the kynurenine pathway. This process lowers brain serotonin availability and can contribute to depression, anxiety, and the familiar cloudiness associated with seasonal affective disorder. Tryptophan depletion isn't just a metabolic footnote, it's one of the ways inflammation speaks directly to the serotonergic system. Environmental conditions can amplify all this. Allergens activate protease-activated receptors in nasal tissue and drive even more allergic inflammation. Thankfully, just as inflammation can shift methylation patterns, so can lifestyle inputs. So when the season shifts and your mood shifts with them, remember, their body's capacity to adapt and even rewrite parts of the script is pretty remarkable.